Alright, so I got this 135i that took on a deer last winter, and I'm trying to get it back to running condition. It didn't sustain too much damage. I'm just going to do a one-take video on this, no editing. This is where I believe the deer hit, right? And that was the damage to the bumper, and that's really it, not much. There was some existing damage to the fender clip, and they put a little Bondo and stuck it in there or whatever, but I have another one of these cars exactly the same except DCT. This one's the 6-speed, which is really always what I wanted. The headlights had PPF on them. You can see how bad it looks, and I already took it off of that one just with a heat gun and a credit card, but side mirrors have it too. Overall clean car. Let's see if the door should open, but you can see, bam, 3 pedals. That's what you want. But the DCT was really fast too. From my understanding, they're the same exact gearbox, just with a different bell housing. One has a dual clutch in it and some hydraulics, and then the other one is just a regular manual clutch. I believe they're ZF is the manufacturer, or Getrag. I'm not sure. Getrag, however you want to say it. I'm sure the Europeans say Getrag and Westerners say Getrag. So the story was the dude hit a deer, and you can kind of see. I mean, have you ever seen a deer fur before? Pretty sure Bambi lost this battle, but there's the evidence right there. That's the best evidence I could find of the deer. It looked like its hoof. I'm just gonna say hoof on everything. It looked like the hoof went through the intercooler, which I already pulled and threw away. And got an OEM used replacement right here, and cleaned it out and everything. It was on a 335i, but should work for this N54. And this car does have the M package, so it's got the giant brakes and the lower suspension. This has Eibach lowering springs installed by the previous owner. All the damage, it looked like it went across, started on the driver's side front and scraped through underneath to the passenger side. I'll show you guys. It ripped, so this crossover coolant line, I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty tough to see. It's just broken, open-ended right there. It broke, snapped that, so I bought an OE new one to install for that. Looks like this. Bolts up right here on the subframe. Plugs in here and here. I think I'm not exactly sure what it goes to, if that goes to the thermostat or what. Fan shroud busted a little bit of plastic. This piece was up in the belt drive and was about to get crushed, but I haven't tried to turn the engine over yet. It had a good battery when I got it, but it's been a minute already. Just your usual N54 twin turbo, right, with the manual gearbox. Also, whenever I got it, I don't know if you'll be able to see up here, but the power steering lines, the banjo bolt on the pump was completely backed out. I don't understand, and there was only one crush washer in it. So it was still in the pump, just hanging on by a thread. But you can see it's a pretty big banjo bolt. It's aluminum. Looks probably most BMW stuff that's aluminum is one-time use, but we are going to reuse that. And then some aluminum crush washers that I ordered new from the dealership. So I'll be doing that too. And then BMW calls their power steering fluid central hydraulic fluid, in case you didn't know. So got some of that to fill the reservoir. I think the power steering banjo bolt was like an ongoing problem that was never resolved, because when I looked at the cap, it was just covered in oil. So it makes me believe, and I loosened up the reservoir already, because I was just tracking things down and taking out the intake and stuff like that. Anyways, this evidence on the lid and on the reservoir makes me believe that the owner was constantly adding power steering fluid, because it was probably leaking out from that banjo bolt, slowly backing itself out until it was just hanging on by not even a thread. It was just in there. I don't have any idea how it stayed in place. But I'm hoping that all the fluid that's been dripping off of this thing over the past few months is just hydraulic fluid from the pump, because it leaked and leaked and leaked for a long time, and finally it ran out of, it quit seeping so much. But it doesn't look like the Vanos is leaking. Maybe the oil panel has got some seepage going on, but you can see how this deer tore through here and tore up the underbody carpet diffusers, whatever you want. It's like it's a real generic fabric material that they use on these things. Exposed the battery cables over there, stock down pipes. It tore, you can see right there, the O2 sensor wiring. Luckily that's on the sensor side and not on the harness side of things, but all the plugs came down from their little home. So I pulled a O2 sensor off of my other car, the automatic DCT car, and I'm going to use that as just a donor part, a donor used part. Oh, here's the power steering lines that are, here's the banjo line that's loose, that just falls from the, and then right behind that is where the old cooling hose. So this whole section was missing from the cooling hose, about a good 10 to 12 inches, if not more, just gone. I'm assuming that the deer, a leg of the deer, or if it was a buck, maybe the horns, I'm not sure, but it did a little bit of a number. Not anything crazy. A little bitty scrape on the exhaust, you can see right there by the O2 sensor wiring, but nothing super serious was damaged, surprisingly, which is cool. And I didn't talk to the previous owner because I got it from a wrecker auction, but the wrecker driver told me all the story on it, you know, and they were in contact with the owner. There was a couple nice car seats in the back seat, and I really would have liked to have returned those to the owner and gotten the keys for it, because it came with no keys. But that was one of the first things I did, was had a key burned for it. I haven't tested it out properly, like I said, because I wanted to resolve all these mechanical issues before I try to turn it over. But it would have been really nice to not have to spend money at the dealership on that. Of course, I get a pretty good deal. It's like right under $250 for a new key fob with no blade, no physical key. I think the physical key is another $40 to $60, which isn't a big deal, but I'm not, you know, I'm only spending on what's necessary to repair this thing. I think I have everything ready to go. So we have intercooler, O2 sensor, coolant line. I have coolant over there too, BMW coolant, banjo crush washers, and that should do it. Like, I'm hoping that's it. I haven't inspected the engine oil to see if it's clean or if it matches, but I'm just hoping that's dirty power steering fluid dripping off of everything. Clearly the air filters need to be clean. The car's overall dusty because it's been sitting for a minute. But it has about 140,000 miles on it, and I'm looking forward to getting to drive it soon. I'm not going to film all the work, but I'll follow up and post something on if I have success with everything or not. In the meantime, enjoy your day.